Lisa was on the down and outs since day one in her tribe. She would have been the first one to go. Lisa also, from what I could see, physically struggled with being out here the most. So for Lisa to be sitting in the final three after she was targeted right away, after she was seen as such a big weakness, is to me pretty incredible. I mean, that's pretty Survivor-esque. So I think the way she did that is huge. The reason I wouldn't vote for Lisa kind of has to do with the same thing. She may have been carried because she wasn't necessarily a big threat, you know? And Lisa, compared to the two, you know, wasn't much of a physical threat. She didn't win any immunities. And I don't think she won any rewards personally herself winning them. Skupin, same thing. He was targeted since day one. You know, he had the returning player label on him, and people wanted him out right away. And somehow he's in the final three. And it sounds like to me he was disliked at his camp. So to do that, to make it to the final three after so many people had you in the radar, to me is impressive. His biggest thing is, I don't know where his strategic move ever came into play. I don't know if he had any great strategic moves in this game. To me, it seems like he kind of fell into the right place at the right time. I don't know. We'll find out tonight what his biggest strategic moves were. Denise has a great story. She's been to every single tribal council. That's a great story. She's survived in this game. I think for me, Denise, the biggest reason I don't really want to vote for her is she's been claiming since day one, take the strongest to the end. Take the strongest to the end. Yet, in her last tribal council, she could have tried to save Malcolm and went to fire, and knowing that it would have been him to try and make fire, you know, knowing that Skupin and Lisa was going to vote Malcolm, she could have made it so that Malcolm went to try to make fire against Lisa. And ultimately that would have put Malcolm probably in the final three. So I feel like Denise, where she wanted to say that this was the way she was playing, you know, I ended up going before Abby. That kind of goes against what she was preaching the whole time about taking the stronger players and not carrying a weak player because they can't win or that they won't get the votes. So I kind of feel like she talked a big game and then didn't deliver on it, which, you know, we're all listening very intently on the jury and watching what happens, and that just didn't add up to me. For my vote tonight, obviously I want to hear people's answers in the questions. That's going to be a huge part of it. I also am basing it off of, you know, outwit, outlast, outplay. If I think that the candidate carries all three of those things the strongest, then they'll get my vote. You know, for me, it's not a personal revenge tonight. It's not, let me go out there to offend them or to make them feel bad or to make them look bad or to, you know, I'm not waving my vote around like, you made me mad out here, you don't get it. So that's not what it's about for me. I do want to listen to what people have to say, and I do want to make a vote based on how they played.